Yeah.
As per the arrangement on the last date of the postponement, which I think was in the... Yes, man. I think it was on the 10th of February, if I'm not mistaken.
The 3rd of February.
The 10th. Or was it the 3rd?
So this matter was postponed for about how long? 2 months? 2 weeks?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I'm listening.
And I've done the best that I can. Actually, my life, if I were, my life, if I were to put it, actually came to a standstill.
Your life?
Yes. I had to concentrate, I had to take all the time, do everything in relation to this case, my lord. Just on a very light note, I'm saying on a very light note.
Light note, yeah?
Yes.
You say it took over your life?
I'm not meaning dying.
No, fine.
Yes.
I do understand.
Yes. On a very light note, my lord, I had to, I was supposed to go around the two oceans last week, Saturday. And I had to forfeit my registration because I had no other option but to concentrate on this case. However, despite my fervent efforts,
You took the brief, you know what it entails.
yes, my lord. But on the same breath, my lord, on the same breath, the court would also be aware that it is the state, and we confirmed with the state that the amount of work that I needed to cover there was almost more than 40,000 pages.
I've read, let me tell you.
Yes,
I've read all that.
yes.
That record.
Thank you, my lord.
All of it.
Yes,
You can phone my wife and my
yes,
children.
yes, my lord.
I've read it.
But with me, my lord, and I'm not trying to argue with the court, with me is not only reading,
Yeah.
it's to read
Yeah.
and to analyze,
Yes.
compare and contrast,
Yes.
and to formulate my argument
Yes.
in respect of the cross-examination, in respect of the forthcoming cross-examination, my lord. And when I read, there are numerous, actually many instances where an evidence will be led, and then you will be referred to the record of a particular date. You need to go back to that record. You will be referred to exhibits this and exhibit that in the record, my lord. Now, that took a very long time.
But are you saying you're not ready to go?
I'm not ready, my lord, to proceed. I'm not ready, my lord. Otherwise, if I had to come here and tell the court that I am ready, that will be an injustice to Mr. Sibia. I would therefore request, my lord, a further postponement of this case. And I will continue to prepare. Come that date, I'll come and tell this court that I'm ready or I'm not ready. I'm very cautious. I will be very cautious this time, my lord, because last time I remember I told this court that come sun or shine, I would be ready today. That simply meant that I underestimated the amount of work and the amount of documents that I had to be content with. But the work that I needed to cover was just too voluminous, man. And reading every day.
You know what surprises
Every
me?
day. It's
You know what
very
surprises
tedious. Yes, my lord.
You started this case with my predecessor, Judge Maumela, is that not so?
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you've been continuing
Yes.
and being continuously in this trial.
Yes.
And you are aware of all the evidence that has been led. And you know what? I also bent backwards. I allowed every advocate to cross-examine whomever. Didn't I do that, Mr. For instance, even advocates whose clients were not accused of having made confessions, you cross-examined. Mr. Ngumalo cross-examined. The late Ngumezulu cross-examined. Mr. Mshololo also cross-examined. Because you, as a group, you said to me, you're defending these people as a group. And you yourself, Mr. Mnisi, you cross-examined every witness, even if that witness never referred to your client in evidence. You did that. Even with Mr. Ramusipidi. No, I can tell you, I can get the record. I was reading the record. You say it's 40,000. How many pages? I thought it's 60,000.
Yeah, it's more or less in that region.
60,000.
Yes.
Not 40,000.
Yes.
So I've read that record, all of it. And you, Mr. Mnisi, you are aware of every evidence which has been adduced in this court. Every evidence.
That is so, my lord.
Yeah. So what is the problem?
But my lord, the issue here is, when I took over the representation of Mr. Sibiya, I think there's one thing that we also needed to understand, that it wasn't by virtue of the fact that I've been here at court and I've been listening to all the evidence. The court should also remember again that in as much as I was here, my concentration was with regard, my attention was with regard to accused number 3. There are a lot of things that were said to accused number about accused number 1, which I did not really pay attention to, because that was not within my domain to take issues on behalf of accused number 1.
I'm sorry to jut in. You cross-examined. You cross-examined number 1, accused 1, 2. You cross-examined on behalf of accused number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You. Same thing with Mr. Ramusipidi. Same thing with the late Ngumezulu, Mr. Ngumezulu. The same thing with Mr. Ngumalo. The same thing with Ms. Mshololo. And nobody stopped you. Mr. Ramusipidi, am I correct, sir?
My lord, I don't recall myself standing up and cross-examining on behalf of accused 3, 4, and 5. My concentration at the beginning was in respect of accused number 1 and 2. When Mr. Ngomezulu took over representation of Mr. Sibiya, I then focused on Mr. Mtanzi. I don't have mandate for them all, my lord. Otherwise, I'll be standing here alone.
Mr. Mnisi, I think this is an abusage of the system. Got to be fair with you. Abusage of the system. Let's hear you, Mr. Aloy.
Well, firstly, my lord, Advocate Mnisi has been requesting transcripts of proceedings of certain dates from time to time. So I can confirm he's hard at work as far as the perusal of the record is concerned. My lord, in a long-running matter where one of the defense counsel passes on, I think that inevitably brings along delays, and it will serve no purpose for the state to say we object to the request if counsel says they're not ready. We are mindful of the fact that he was given some time, but if he says he's not ready, my lord, we're not in a position to object to the requests for more time. Obviously, my lord, this matter has got to be finalized. Brigadier Gininda has been in the witness box, I think, since November. It's now, 6 months in the witness box. It's unfair on him. His other professional duties are on hold, and it is in the interest of justice that at some point that his cross-examination should be finalized. But balancing the scales, my lord, we are not in a position to to object to the request. Safe to say that we also express our frustration. The court is correct. The cross-examination has been prolix in this matter. If one, for instance, looks at the evidence of Sergeant Musia, just a witness who came on the scene, just collected the exhibits,
It's
but
about 2,000 pages.
but his cross-examination
I read it.
went on for weeks and weeks.
And even the guy, the
Yes.
gentleman who was involved in an accident, they insisted that he must come back and give evidence again.
Yes.
And all that evidence related to him being on the scene,
Awesome, yes.
collecting exhibits.
Yes.
They said, no, we want him back. And then he was cross-examined prolixly about the fact that he was on standby.
Yes.
Did you record the kilometers in your motor vehicle? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Do you know it's an offense
Yes. Yeah.
to drive a state car without recording the kilometers?
Yes. Yes.
Poor guy was
So-
saying, no, but you know what? I was on standby and I had to do this and that.
Yes.
So no. What was the
So-
standby about?
Yes.
He had to tell us, no, I was attending a robbery, for instance, a business robbery in El Dorado Park.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes. And ethi sizo zonke, I think. Yeah. So all I say, my lord, is that even if the evidence is prolix, the issue really are quite succinct and have been delineated. But the the evidence around that issue is quite extensive, and we all that we can say, my lord, is that it's in the interest of justice that at some point this matter will have to continue. The deceased family, the society wants this matter at some point to be finalized, and we can only express our dismay that we are unable. We understand the predicament of Advocate Mnisi. As we mentioned the last time, that he finds himself in a very difficult position, but all that we can do, my lord, is just to plead that perhaps, if should the court be inclined to grant the postponement, that we should continue with the matter at that date, if the matter is postponed.
Yeah, you know what? This Section 35. Section 35 is not immutable. No, you can sit down.
Thank you.
Section 35, 5, F, A, B, C, all those sections, they are not immutable. You can't abuse the system and then rely on the fact that the Constitution says you have to have a fair trial. The fair trial, like I quoted the case of King, this State versus King, Harams, you forgot that case.
Yes.
Where they say fairness must also be accorded to the state. And state witnesses, yes, Colonel Geninda. He's testified, I don't know for how long. It must end. And even the SCA, even the Constitutional Court, if you have accorded a person like Mr. Mnisi, I did that. No judge in South Africa would have done that. You didn't even know how long you wanted. You remember? You just said you're not ready. I said, how long do you want? And you shook your head. You didn't know. And I gave you 2 months and 3 weeks. Even the JP fought with me. Yeah, he's right. Because there are other cases, for instance, Mr. Baloyi has to do with Mr. Subanda, which they've got to attend to. How do you give a fellow to prepare, I mean, an ordinary criminal case? Can you sit down, sir?
Thank you.
There's nothing mysterious about murder. And I'm not talking because I don't have the experience. I used to defend so-called freedom fighters of the ANC, PAC. I know marathon cases. I've attended several. I even did cases like, for instance, the case which involved high-ranking police officials. But this is real abuse. And people who are seeing this, they think I am too lenient, or I enjoy doing this case. Mr. Uma. In this case, everybody started with this case except me. You were there when Mr. Maumela was presiding. Is that not so, Mr. Nguman? Yeah. I also read that report of the proceedings which started on the 27th of January 2020, is it?
Yes. 2022, it was in February 2022.
Yeah, that's in February.
Yes.
Yeah. I read all that report. It's there in my office. Now, it surprises me an advocate who's experienced as Mr. Mnisi can't read 40,000 pages in 2 months. Please. Surprises me. I'm going to accord the final postponement. And if you're not ready on this postponement, then your client will have to intercede on your behalf. And the final postponement, I can only give you up to Tuesday. Tuesday is the holiday.
After Monday, it's a holiday.
Yeah, what's the date on Tuesday?
Just quickly checking the date.
As it please the court, my lord, I do not want to interject. However, if the court says that, it's only saying that I must come next week ready.
So what?
If the court is saying that I should come next week ready to proceed with the
Yes.
matter,
Why not?
then I'm going to request that I be excused from representing
No, fine.
accused
You can-
number
you
one,
can say
because
that
I
on
can't do
Tuesday.
that.
You can say that
Thank
on
you.
Tuesday.
Yes.
But this case is postponed to Tuesday. You said the date is about
22nd, Mala.
22nd. Mr. Mnisi, you have had enough, more than enough time. 2 months and 3 weeks. That's what we accorded you. It's a postponement. And you have been in this trial since when my predecessor, Judge Maumela, was seized with the matter. And every day you were listening to evidence which was adduced. It's not like you're a new counsel coming into the matter cold. No. That's why I told you, you were cross-examining across the board, all of you. Even was clearing where your clients were not involved in confessions. All of you cross-examined, and I allowed it. Because you argued that our clients are, are charged with a common purpose. So we are entitled to cross-examine on each and every aspect. I said, okay, fine. But it can't go on and on and on and on. So Mr. Mnisi, you must be ready on Tuesday. We'll continue on that day. Okay.
Inkantolo ifuna ukuthi icala lehliswe kuze kuvikelizayo ngolesibili date kuzobe kuyi-22 kusukumile-ke u-advocate Mnisi wetshela inkantolo uma kuhlehliselwa lelo langa ngolesibili kuvikelizayo yena-ke uzobe engekakulungeli ukuthi-ke angaqhubeka kodwa inkantolo-ke iyaqhubeka-ke nesinqumo ukuthi sizobuya ngolesibili kuvikelizayo idate kuzobe kuyi-22 kuyona inyanga esukuyona ulihlele.
My apologies. Okay, the court will adjourn.